guys, I never talk about anybody's spouses, but this shit ain't right. It ain't fucking right. I gotta talk about it. Ian Garry, I remember when I met you, dude. It was in New York. You were this fine-ass girl. She had the little nipple coverings. We all fucking seen it, right? Everybody seen it. But I remember thinking to myself, there ain't something right about that girl. There's something about that woman that ain't fucking. The way she walked, the way she looked, the way she talked. I knew it. Now I'm finding out you're 26. She's 30. The ex lives with you. You took the last name. Wrote a book on how to be a wag. I didn't even know what a wag was until now, dude. This you, she's a succubus. You gotta run away, bro. Hot girls are a dime a dozen. We'll get you one. We'll get you ring girls. We'll get you two at the same time, bro. You gotta pull the ripcord, man. It ain't my friend. You gotta pull that here for you. Then making news here for you. Do the right things, Ian Garry.
Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So Sean Strickland has just destroyed Ian Garry, and it's an absolute beautiful thing to watch because everything, actually, do you know what? He spoke a rare language, and that was facts. Like that, what Sean spoke there was complete facts. Now, obviously, we don't know the details if everything that Sean's saying is the truth, but he believes it. And there, at the minute, there's like a Twitter war going on. X, it's called now. If you don't know, I'm sure you do know. But there's like a war going on Twitter, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. So basically, I dropped a couple of videos in Ian Garry. I didn't think it was as bad as this. I thought that maybe, you know, it was just a young couple. I didn't even know what age she was, to be honest with you. I don't really take much to do with the fighters' wives or like looking into their past, but you know, Ian definitely is snake charmed by this woman. He's well on his right to get into a relationship with whoever he wants. I'm not here to criticize that, but it's clear to see that this woman has ulterior motives. I can sort of come to that assessment after reading and seeing what I saw. You know, there's a lot of screenshots coming from her Twitter at the minute. People are taking screenshots and sending them on, and it's not good. Like, what we'll do is we'll read a tweet, or not a tweet, it's a messages between Sean Strickland and Ian Garry, and I can't believe what I've just read. So we'll read this now. And if you choose to continue to spread it, knowing from the source it's not true, then you're partaking in harassment and defamation of character. Smart move would be to take it down. That's Ian Garry sending a message to Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland replies, "I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy who's trying to help a blank, LOL. Sue me, get in line, mother, you know what? There are a few in front of you. I would respect you more if you threatened violence against me, but I guess it makes sense." Ian replies, "Sean, what you're doing is spreading hate, lies, and harassment. I'm helping you here, giving you a heads up." Now, the crazy thing about that is Ian Garry is an MMA fighter. I'm not saying that he should take harassment or hatred or any of those things, but if we look at the history of MMA fighters, let's go way, way back. Tito Ortiz, Chael Sonnen. Even just Tito Ortiz, the things that they said to each other was immensely, mind-bogglingly gross. Do you know what I mean? But it was funny and it was entertainment. That's what we tune in. That's why we started to watch MMA, because it was different from the rest of the sports. It was like WWE, except these guys actually really fought. They just weren't prancing around the ring, you know, pretending to hurt each other. That's why we like MMA. Now, it just so happens that Ian Garry has found himself in a situation with possibly a narcissistic woman. I don't know what age this woman is. I don't know if she's still, and Ian and her are still living in the same house as her ex-husband. If she is really 40 years of age, I don't know if that's just a joke from Sean. If she still is living with her husband, and, you know, Ian did take her second name, that to me is some woke ass bullshit that I couldn't imagine an MMA fighter getting into. Imagine that. Out of all the people that you would think that would be woke, an MMA fighter definitely. Like you've got fighters like there's loads of fighters in the roster that would maybe come across like they're woke, like Sean O'Malley with his little hair and stuff, but he's not. Do you know what I mean? They're not really like that. But then Ian Garry, man, like this path that he's on is not a good path. This is the way I see this playing out. Either everybody's right about Ian Garry's wife and they break up, and I don't know if she is entitled to like they get divorced or whatnot, if they're, I think that they're married, and he's took her second name, so I'm assuming that they're married. I think then she would be entitled to like money from him, and at the young age that he's at, and knowing that she's equipped with law, like that's not going to be good for him. This situation for Ian Garry could be a life changing moment. Like this could break his whole MMA career. Personally, myself, I'm going to have to stick by my guns and say this, that I think that I've heard Ian Garry's wife speak more in two interviews, like in two Ian Garry interviews, than I have of D Devil and Conor McGregor's misses in the whole 8 years. I don't think that's a good sign. I think personally myself, what her game plan is here was, she's wrote a book about how to be a wag. She marries sort of up and coming famous athletes, gets the traction from that, gets the notoriety from that, probably writes a book, so on, blah, 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 and has that security and will move on to the next person. And in the process of moving on to the next person, she gets to benefit from the previous relationship, i.e., divorce settlements, payments for the rest of her life. Alimony, is that what you call it? Alimony? Alimony, I think it's called. So I don't know if that works. I don't know if it's a thing in Ireland. I'm sure a few of my friends are going through similar situations, but there's a different word for it. I forget what you call it. But it's this isn't a good situation for Ian Garry. Once again, I'm going to have to just regurgitate what I'm saying. We need to be hearing about his training partners, his new gym, his new coach, his path to the title, blah, 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 blah. We're not hearing any of this. We're hearing about chaos. And he is actively texting MMA fighters to say take down the tweets or take down the videos about harassment and bullying. Man, imagine like that's giving your opponents weapons against you. Like, I'm not even going to fight you. You're just a fake ass bitch, who can't even take words. How can you take a beating? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Sean Strickland's absolutely destroyed him there in that one, completely and utterly obliterated him. And Ian Garry seems to be woke. Right, guys, that's the end of the video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That's the only toll you have to pay for this channel. Liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. You want to watch all my stuff for free? Just do those three things, please. I have a second channel called Serial Killing Minds. The link for that is in the description of this video. It's a true crime channel, and me and Sean Warner is a serial killer expert, do lives every Thursday. We're trying to ramp it up a wee bit, maybe do a couple of lives per week, but we'll do lives every Thursday at 9 p.m. He's from the Maryland, USA. This, Sean speaks to serial killers. So, whatever way you want to feel about that, that's okay. But listen, this is a wealth of knowledge you do not want to miss. He profiles them. He's sort of like a serial killer expert. And, he reads out letters, artwork. We talk about a different serial killer every week. And we're going to be talking about more subjects, more true crime subjects, because Sean was in prison. He's had a life of it. He's recovering from drug addiction throughout the years. And, this makes for really, really good content. So if anybody's into the true crime stuff and wants to subscribe to the channel, the link is in the description. We're still going to go live on my Holden official channel. It's going to go live on my Holden official channel, the Serial Killing Minds channel, and Rumble, and maybe a few other ones at the same time. But I would appreciate it if everybody subscribed, if you're into that stuff, to the Serial Killing Minds channel, because that's where in about a year's time or a couple of months' time, all those lives will be solely just for that channel. And that will be where I'll put all my true crime stuff. And you'll be getting exclusive content on there also, which Sean will be posting. So if you're into that, click the link in the description and subscribe to Serial Killing Minds. And don't miss the lives, guys. That's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace.